is one of the core parts of gathering leads, and everybody wants more leads. And it's something we're going to talk a lot about. And theoretically, I like this one a lot, but let's take a look, Mike.
Yeah, that's pretty much what this is. Again, it might look a little bit complex, but I'm just gonna talk through it step by step. And again, as you may have noticed, for this automation, I used Airtable instead of Google Sheets. But if you wanted to have Google Sheets, you can just easily swap them. They have pretty much the same modules, so that'll be search rows, not search records. And obviously, create a record, there'll be create a row or add a new row, right, in Google Sheets.
Before we begin explaining it step by step, could you explain what is the input and what is the output of the entire workflow?
Yeah, so basically, if I go to Airtable, so the input is the LinkedIn URL. Obviously, I know this is just a part of the lead generation, or I guess hiring process, right? Because you have to go to LinkedIn or have a list of people that you would like to reach out to, right? So this is the input in this automation, but obviously it could easily be expanded and we could have, for example, another Apify or a different scraper to go ahead and scrape LinkedIn for URLs, but this is just a shorter version. And as I was explaining it, we had the message come through. So let me just...
Yeah, Andreas just said he's happy for the support.
It's already midnight. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Europe. I'm in Europe as well. So unfortunately. So yeah, thanks for your questions. Really helpful. Really just got us thinking. So that's good. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I hope the new automation, once I upload it, it will actually work this time. So yeah, thanks for being here.
All right, so you say basically put URLs into Airtable and then you get...
Yeah, so and then you get, if I go to the second tab here, again, there's no data. Basically, you get...
I love that you're kind of making them blank to make it easy to copy for everybody else.
Yeah, I just obviously try to hide as much as I can, right? It's going to be... Are we going to upload it? Because there could be like... Oh, anyway. Basically, it takes a LinkedIn URL and it extracts all the info. So we've got full name, the headline, number of followers, location, current employment, email if it's able to pick up one, and the URL to the LinkedIn profile. So, and then obviously the final output, if you like, is the draft outreach message, like right at the end. And this is all being populated in this, using the last Airtable module. Yeah, so again, LinkedIn URL to profile info and outreach message. Should we go through the automation, or?
So to explain it from high level, it's URL takes the information from LinkedIn in text parser. Is that right?
No, this is basically
text aggregator.
Because Apify is a bit specific as to how it wants to get information, especially run a task. It wants it in JSON, and the reason, since the input is just a URL, we have to number one, aggregate. If there is more than one URL, we're going to have to aggregate them together. That way we don't have to run a task multiple times. We can just run one task for, say, 10 or 20 profiles. And because it's JSON, we also want to add a quotation marks around URLs, and that's what this module is doing. So basically, this is just preparing the data so that Apify can then take it and run a task. And then this little setup here is the one we've seen before. Obviously, run a task, Apify, and then it will sleep for a minute. Yeah, it's obviously task that you pay for as you go, but it's painfully slow, which is why I set it to 60 seconds. Obviously, then it gets dataset items, and the final one is to just take all the information it needs and just draft the outreach, the called DM template that you can then use. And yeah, Also, same as with the previous automation, there is a tone of voice there. I set it to professional and friendly. Again, if you want to customize it, take it and customize it, you could obviously change that to fit whatever you need. And then, all the information it needs to come up with the tailored DM. And that's basically what it does. And if you wanted to take this automation and really make it your own, you would have to first obviously change the tone of voice to fit your tone of voice. And also what you could do, and also goes with previous automation, if I go in here, there are a sequence of messages that you can send to ChatGPT. The first one is the system. This is the main prompt. But you could also just add a user message, and that will be whatever you would send to ChatGPT, and you could send it the information about a LinkedIn profile, and then the message number 3, that would be the assistant, and that would be what ChatGPT would respond. So what you could do there is you could come up with your own cold DM or outreach template, and this will basically show ChatGPT what you expect the response to be. And that way you can basically have ChatGPT output basically the most tailored response to you. If you provide examples in that way. So
and to recap that, it's 3 messages in the ChatGPT from system to the user to the assistant.
And
exactly. If you didn't get that, just replay a little bit, because what you said right now is one of the better ways to prompt ChatGPT if you really want a very detailed response in your voice, or your voice usually means in this tone of voice or this style. That's definitely something I want to add to the masterclass, the 3-step prompting, because that's big. We got so much better responses doing that. But there you go. A LinkedIn to outreach message. I'm tempted to say run it. Does it work?
Run it. We'll find out, shall we? So it takes 2 URLs that I had stored in here, and it basically put it through Apify. So it's right now it's taking a break because it takes a little while to run this task. So it'll take
the 60-second sleep 60 is seconds. Very normal for many automations. And the reason for that is it takes a little time for it to run. And so we wait for it to run, and then we grab the data.
Exactly.
And this happens as well in a couple of other automations that we're going to show you tonight. European people.
Today.
Midnight. People in Australia. Good morning.
Okay, so finished, and obviously since we had 2 URLs here, we've got 2 responses from ChatGPT, and also 2 operations to basically update or create the records in here. And if I go to the info tab, so as you can see, it basically extracted the information. So full name, headline, number of followers. This guy's got 36,000. The location, obviously the current employment, that is the company name they have set up in LinkedIn, and the email. If you can find one, then it will obviously include it here. And also the draft message. As you can see,
it's so wild. This is crazy, because there are tools that do this custom for you, that you have to pay like $50 a month to actually do this exact thing that is happening right now.
And the most crazy part is that you can pretty much run this for free, because to scrape one person, it costs like 1 pence, and you get $5 for free. So
that's a lot.
Unless you're scraping hundreds of profiles, you should be able to run this basically for free every month, however many times you need. And as you can see, this is one of the drawbacks of not having the example. Is if I maybe just expand it, it adds this one. It maybe just formats it as email.
There's obviously the prompt engineering at the end is always a little bit
and
try and figure it out.
If you had at very least one example in there, it would basically be a little bit more tailored to the kind of ideal response that we want. But this is probably the good start. They are written based on the information that
Can you
Is
open
him.
a message real quick so we can see the first message, for example, or go to the second example because it seems like we have more data from him.
Yep.
So it came across your profile and was impressed by your experience and the intersection of AI, accounting, and assurance. Your work in building AI solution resonates strongly with my own interest of how emerging technologies are transforming the accounting profession. So again, it's so tailored to their profile. It's almost like they read the profile and crafted a perfect message from their profile. Oh, wait. No, just kidding.
There's more.
So yeah, it ends up creating an actual decent, given your role at Materia AI and your background in providing technology and strategy guidance. Man,
very professional.
Can this also send messages on Tinder for me?
I'm not sure if a message like this will get you any replies, but yeah, you can try.
Yeah, given your role at obviously this super professional, and I've seen many, and this system that we're setting up now, it may seem simple, but I can tell this a short story. So I actually was on a meeting with Make.com this week with their enterprise sector. So the people in charge for enterprise clients and people that have over 50 employees. And I asked them, what do they do? What is the automation that they do the most? And then he showed me the stats of how many modules are getting run per month and how many of, for example, ChatGPT runs, how many this runs, how many this runs. And I want to ask you guys, which module do you guys think was the most popular? Google Sheets. And inside of Google Sheets, what was the most popular automation? Update a row. So you guys can really see that updating rows and automatically transferring data from one place to another place, it's such a value add to any business. And especially when we're talking about this lead gen and getting leads into a CRM, like we've done here with Airtable. It could also be HubSpot or Salesforce or Monday.com, is one of the most powerful and useful automations to start using. So this was a perfect example of a very powerful solution that literally I've seen tools pay $50 a month, even more. For the pro plan, you get to see the email even.
There you go. And you get that pretty much for free.
Awesome. Crazy. Okay. So that was the LinkedIn to outreach message. Beautiful. So it shows you really how you can just bring the context into it and really get a reply that is so tailored to their profession.